Hello everyone, my name is Jukka, and this time I'll be taking a look at Skeletor's second-in-command witch, Evil-Lyn.
After all this time,
and the many disguises she has had over the decades in comics, movie and cartoons. In this list I will include disguises that Evil-Lyn has used to pretend to be an existing character, or when she has been some completely new one. Let's dive in. Once again, if you are new to my channel, my name is Jukka, and been a fan ever since I was a kid, and also been very fortunate to work on the brand officially. Written in Masters of the Universe books by Dark Horse, for board games by Archon, even got to do the Finnish voice dub for He-Man's grandfather, Miro, in the 2002 animated series. And I've also written an unofficial book about the 2002 animated He-Man. You can also find my interviews and articles over at the Battle Ram blog and He-Man.org websites. In the upcoming Masters of the Universe movie, Alison Brie will perform as Evil-Lyn. There's some speculation that will Evil-Lyn be in some type of a disguise in the movie. Because of this, I thought it might be fun to collect all the different disguises she has had over the decades. Now, anyone looking at the toy figure will notice that she has a lot of reused parts from the Teela figure. So you might get a paint with water book that, while not necessarily has a story, you'd see an image of Evil-Lyn holding Teela captive, and then shown with a mask to look just like the warrior goddess, possibly to fool the heroes. Then there was the Sticker Fun Activity Golden Book, which leaned more into this idea. Skeletor discovers that King Randor is about to have a masquerade ball at the royal palace, and he sneaks into the festivities with a plan to capture Teela and He-Man, here dressed as the blue vest Prince Adam that was in the DC Comics. But in this story they treat him simply as He-Man, and to replace He-Man with the robotic twin Faker. And Skeletor even remarks how Evil-Lyn will easily pass as Teela. The art is very inconsistent at times, Teela's outfit changing from one page to the next. But after the switch is done, both Faker and Evil-Lyn seem to fool everyone into thinking they are He-Man and Teela respectively, with one party member noting how He-Man painted himself blue for the masquerade. Man-at-Arms though is quick to state that he would know his daughter in any disguise and that this person is not Teela at all. With the help of Zoar, Man-at-Arms and Ram-Man go to rescue He-Man and Teela from Skeletor's place. They race back to the royal palace using the Talon Fighter, where He-Man fights the robotic doppelganger, and Evil-Lyn manages to escape during the commotion. At the end, good guys get together for their feast, and Skeletor is seen taking Faker with him. Now, before jumping into Evil-Lyn's disguises in the Filmation animated series, I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers for my channel, so please like and subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos like this one. Leave a comment which one of Evil-Lyn's disguises is your favorite. In the Filmation series, Evil-Lyn had a variety of disguises. A couple of them were just her in a robe, like in the episode Magic Falls, where she mingles with other citizens at the Royal Palace of Eternia in a blue-colored robe, hearing all about Eternia Day, when the people of Eternia can approach the king and ask for whatever help they need, as Randor holds the scepter of power to grant them their wishes. Obviously the bad guys want to steal this scepter, but the villain who will enter the palace won't be Evil-Lyn in disguise for this episode. In another episode, Double Trouble, she tricks He-Man's friend Koldar into entering a cave by calling for help. As Koldar finds her, We see Evil-Lyn in this brownish baggier robe, and as our hero approaches her, she reveals the disguise and captures him, so they can later make a evil duplicate of him.
It's me!
A couple of times, she would disguise herself in various ways as a means to incite lies in the crowd, or to people of importance. In the episode The Shadow of Skeletor, we have many faces infiltrate the evil warriors as beastmen, as the heroes learn that the two kingdoms of Dark Moon and Bright Moon are about to go to war because Skeletor is trying to incite it. Man-E as Beastman learns how Evil-Lyn had disguised herself as a peasant girl with orange hair, and she lied to Dark Moon's King Barbo that the neighboring kingdom of Bright Moon had betrayed them. Then in the episode The Royal Cousin, she tricks Prince Adam's cousin Jeremy as an old woman at the royal marketplace by getting him a magneto boomerang he wanted and asking in exchange that he acquire the latest invention, the rock softener from Man-at-Arms, without him knowing about it, so she can then attack Castle Grayskull with Triclops. That same old woman disguise got used in another instance, in the Curse of the Spellstone. And otherwise I might not include it in the disguise count, but the script states that her name is Xenia, so it feels more unique. In the episode, we witness her use the titular Spellstone to cause destruction, and then blame King Randor and Man-at-Arms for their weather invention and how they need to be punished. The citizens bring the creeping Horak with them, which was used long ago to punish criminals. But luckily, Tila recognizes Evil-Lyn's voice and throws bolas at her. And as the evil witch escapes her restraints, the disguise comes off, much to the shock of the other citizens. She manages to grab the creeping Horak and throws it at the palace, causing the royal family to flee away from its expanding reach. In the end, the heroes manage to confront the bad guys at the royal palace, and the citizens also get to help against Evil-Lyn by grabbing the Spellstone from her. In a more elaborate ruse, when Skeletor wanted to get the Coridite that the Widgets had in their fortress, Evil-Lyn shows her intellect by suggesting that she can get inside, portraying as a helpless young woman called Nadira. In the episode Evil-Lyn's Plot, written by Paul Dini, she manages to have Panther give chase to her, only to be defended and rescued by the Widgets, who afterward invite her in. Once inside, she sends most of the group on a wild goose chase to seek out Nadira's family in the forest and is left alone with Squinch. She soon charms the unsuspecting Widget into bringing her down to their mines, where he shows off crystals to cheer her up. She even gets him to open the door to the room that has the Coridite, which she grabs and reveals her true nature. Then in the episode The Shaping Staff, Evil-Lyn disguises herself as a traveling magician named Magistra to infiltrate the royal palace. Again, an episode written by Paul Dini. She uses a magic box to make King Randor disappear and switches him with Beastman in the disguise of the Good King. The real king is sent down to the prison cells, while the disguised Beastman and Evil-Lyn make the royal order to send troops go after Castle Grayskull. Orko later stumbles upon their deception and gets turned into a cricket, but manages to go tell Adam all about the evil plan. Outside Filmation, Evil-Lyn's disguises continue across books and comics. In Maze of Doom, she disguises herself as the Sorceress, greeting the heroes at the gates of Castle Grayskull. The heroes are shocked when the Sorceress blasts them, but Evil-Lyn reveals the disguise soon after it. In the hardcover story, The New Champions of Eternia, the heroes come across 3 characters who appear to be helpful at first, but they are actually the evil warriors in disguise. It is Queen Marlena who recognizes them, so the character whose name was Nivelli turns out to be Evil-Lyn. Nivelli was just an anagram of her actual name, similar how Beastman and Triclops were called Abstanem and Potskrill, respectively. In the German comics by Interpart, issue 5, Skeletor and Evil-Lyn managed to attack Zoar near Castle Grayskull. Seemingly they know that it is the Sorceress in her falcon form. Evil-Lyn uses her powers to draw magic and information from Zoar, then transforms herself into Zoar and goes to lure He-Man. Skeletor takes the real Sorceress as his prisoner, and as He-Man is faced with a task to move certain stones, but one that no mortal can decipher what the order is or what stone to move, the disguised Zoar instructs him that what to do, but it makes everything worse. He-Man realizes she was not really Zoar. Evil-Lyn reveals her disguise. Then issue 8 introduces us to Glass Lady, if you will, a woman inside a crystal that is approached by Cyclone and Fisto, but they get zapped by the energies from the crystal. Thanks to Cyclone alerting other heroic warriors, He-Man, Man-at-Arms and Orko fly on the Wind Raider to the scene, but Duncan and Orko get blasted, and only He-Man is not affected by the stun beam, thanks to the magic of the Power Sword. He-Man confronts the Glass Lady, who reveals to be a beautiful blonde woman, claiming that she is from another world where she is a queen, but that a monster came to the world, subjugated her people, and banned her away. And she now needs He-Man's help to save her people, and one condition is also to love her in order to do that. I know, but remember, these are just comics for kids. But then Teela arrives and tries to warn He-Man not to be fooled by this new alluring stranger. The blonde stranger even questions that is He-Man not allowed to love her because of her, meaning Teela. Even Zoar arrives to the scene and tries to remind He-Man to be a little skeptic of the situation. But He-Man declares it is love at first sight. I find these scenarios fascinating and might even do a video with all of He-Man's love interests, even these manipulating ones. Let me know down in the comments if you want a video like that. As He-Man and the Glass Lady walk through a portal, it is actually in an ambush where Hordak, Leech, Mantina and Grizzlor attack He-Man and then take him to the fight zone. Hordak then gleefully reveals that the Glass Lady was Evil-Lyn in disguise. Evil-Lyn talks about how she once swore to get revenge on He-Man and that this was it. In the UK Comics issue 51 story, originally from German EHAPA issues, Skeletor discovers the titular Book of Evil and plans to use it to defeat He-Man. In the story, the good guys need to find 3 pieces to the Shield of Protection. Luckily, Zoar can tell them where to go. And so He-Man, Man-at-Arms and Snoutspout go to their separate ways and the evil warriors seize this opportunity. On a side note, there's a terrific narrated version by my friend Rob over at his channel, Masters of the Minicomics. You should check that out. They used the original German version and translated it, while the vintage UK comic I'm showing here is slightly rewritten. Evil-Lyn disguises herself as Orko and appears in front of Snoutspout. She lies to him that his friends are making fun of him, calling him names, but Snoutspout still carries onward. The next page I actually found confusing when doing my research for this video, as I wanted to count how many disguises Evil-Lyn has had. So, back in the story, Man-at-Arms is on his way to go find one of the pieces of the Shield of Protection, flying on his jet sled. and he witnesses Teela about to fall to her doom. The next panel shows He-Man, puzzled why Man-at-Arms is calling out for Teela so soon after they just departed ways. Man-at-Arms flies over to He-Man to ask that he help Teela, but He-Man responds coldly that he is on a mission, and Man-at-Arms is unable to save Teela himself, so he blames He-Man about it. In the end, all the heroes manage to get their respective piece of the shield, and they convene near Grayskull. And obviously there's a ticking clock of some twin moons aligning, before which time the shield pieces have to come together. The heroes argue for a moment because of Evil-Lyn's manipulation, but when Skeletor and his warriors try to attack them, the heroes come to their senses and unite the shield pieces. In the aftermath, Orko appears to the trio, and when Man-at-Arms is saddened that He-Man let Teela fall to her doom, Orko confirms that Teela is safe back at the palace. So they figure out that the Teela that Man-at-Arms saw must have been deception. And he points out that maybe the He-Man he saw was also an imposter. And like I said, this is where my confusion lies, since we saw He-Man at that forest reacting to Man-at-Arms calling for Teela, implying that it was the real He-Man. But then the next panel, where Man-at-Arms is flying over He-Man, that one is the disguised Evil-Lyn. I feel like one of the Watchtower database guys screaming, "Not canon," but in this instance it's not the disguise, but whatever. The characters mentioned that Teela was an imposter and then also He-Man was an imposter, but I'll count this one as Evil-Lyn only disguising herself as He-Man in this instance, and the falling Teela at the same time was let's call it a magic spell. And let's try and get a move on. This video is already over 28 minutes long. In the UK annual story, The Flowers of Moloch, Skeletor wants to infiltrate the royal palace, so he steals an invite meant for Princess Lorama to the New Year celebration. Skeletor manages to block the real princess's path so she can't get to the palace, and sends Evil-Lyn in her place, disguised as Princess Lorama, to present a special flower to everyone, where the flower's scent will cause everyone to fall asleep. Sadly, there is no given visual what the princess looks like in this story. With the Brazilian ESTRELA minicomics, there is one story specifically featuring Evil-Lyn, and she has not one, but two disguises in that story. It's Marlena's birthday, so the citizens come to bring her gifts. One such person is an old woman in a black hood. She gives Marlena a scarf that the queen is very pleased with. The old woman says she should wear it that same night during an event where the people who wanted to give a gift to the queen but were unable to. So the queen must make a wish in front of them that everyone can give her this gift. Evil-Lyn, in her old woman disguise, uses the scarf's special powers to control Marlena. So Marlena asks people to close their eyes so she can perform a disappearing act on them. Evil-Lyn uses her magic to send the real queen to Snake Mountain, leaving all the citizens amazed. While at Castle Grayskull, Marlena appears in front of the Sorceress, asking her to grant her wish to reveal the secrets of Grayskull. The Sorceress is hesitant because she senses dark energies around Marlena and calls for Adam. She is taken back to the palace, where behind closed doors we see Evil-Lyn drop the Marlena disguise. If you want to know what happens next in the story, I can make a separate video about that. In the Masters of the Universe newspaper, comic strips, Evil-Lyn disguises herself as a female Venerian named Thalia to deceive Gwildor. He falls madly for her, so she is able to get information and even a bomb during her infiltration. She remarks a few times that she can't maintain the disguise for long periods of time, and she almost is able to manipulate Gwildor into doing things he normally wouldn't. When Gwildor refuses, she reveals her disguise and makes her escape. The 1987 live-action Masters of the Universe movie also gives us a few moments. At the start of the film, Gwildor talks about a woman approaching her, saying she had heard of his talents as a locksmith. She showed interest in his work, and Gwildor says that she was beautiful, and how could he have known that she was from Snake Mountain? So she probably had some disguise there that we are not shown. But the other time in the movie comes when the heroes are trapped in a music store, and the bad guys want the cosmic key. One of the new characters, Julie, played by Courtney Cox, is astonished to see her dead mother in an alleyway, calling to her. I really like this scene because it is established earlier that Evil-Lyn is made aware that the Earth girl who is helping He-Man, that her parents were killed in a plane crash, but still uses the disguise of the deceased mother. And when Julie questions the whole situation, Evil-Lyn is able to lie about faking their deaths and how they are involved in something very important and secret, for which she asks Julie to bring her the cosmic key. And after Julie manages to grab it and bring it to her, the shocking truth is revealed in a chilling scene.
Thank you, my darling.
The Star Marvel comic adaptation keeps that scene where Julie is tricked by Evil-Lyn as her mother.
And now back to He-Man. Destroy him!
In the 2002 reboot cartoon by Mike Productions, there is one episode where Ram-Man is mesmerized by the siren Sorceress, the Lady of the Lagoon as she calls herself. She wants Ram-Man to bring her the new invention that Man-at-Arms has constructed, the kinetic immobilizer, that can make anything stop in its tracks, machines, weapons, and even living people. Ram-Man, in his hypnotized state, steals the device and brings it to Sorceress. Adam and Teela have followed him and discover that she is really Evil-Lyn in disguise. So by the end of the episode, they manage to foil Skeletor's plans. I remember back when this episode aired, many fans hoped that Sorceress would have been a totally new character, instead of just another disguise. But since it was the only disguise in the series, I'm glad that this part of Evil-Lyn's act was kept for this show. The Masters of the Universe comics by Mattel and DC back in 2012 gave us one digital issue that focused on Evil-Lyn. In it, we see her as a black-haired woman called Morgan. She approaches a royal guard called Nolar Black and manipulates him for weeks, even revealing herself to him so he can help her get one of the eyes of Grayskull from a museum. Once she has it, she kills him with a kiss. In issue 19, we see a flashback of a young Kaldor planning his takeover, and he attends a royal meeting. King Randor excuses himself when he hears that Adam has gone off the city limits by himself. In the meeting room, there is a blonde-haired woman pouring the drinks to all the people around the table. And we discover it was Evil-Lyn in disguise, pouring a very deadly toxin. The Revelation cartoon opens with He-Man seemingly enter Castle Grayskull, holding Spikor and Clawful as his prisoners, but as the Sorceress greets him, we discover that Spikor was in fact Skeletor in disguise, using the shaping staff, and that He-Man actually is Faker, and Clawful revealing to be Evil-Lyn in disguise. After the events in episode 1, the mercenary duo of Teela and Andra are approached by an elderly woman calling herself Majestra to retrieve an item from Snake Mountain, and after they retrieve that item for her, she asks them to accompany her to take it to Castle Grayskull. Once they are inside, we see the woman talk with the Sorceress, and as the heroes already suspected, she was Evil-Lyn in disguise, though she was working for the Sorceress to bring what little magic was left in the Havoc staff to her. As Revelation is known for its use of older material, but in a new context for their story, Evil-Lyn here used the name Majestra from the Filmation disguise, but mixed in with the old woman Xenia disguise. There's also a prequel comic where we see that the young Evil-Lyn was taken in by an old woman who showed her the ways of magic, and the old woman is kinda looks like the old woman Majestra disguise, so it's an interesting way to use it in the in-universe story. Now with the most recent disguises that Evil-Lyn has used, there was the Dark Horse comic, Forge of Destiny, that is set in the same canon as Revelation. In that story, Evil-Lyn disguises herself as Prince Adam to get close to Dash Shell, who will later become Cyclone, in order to trick him into taking her to Anwedkar and to a legendary mystic item that I won't try and pronounce here. Now the upcoming He-Man and the Masters of the Universe comic from Dark Horse issue 6 shows us a very awesome cover art by Riley Brown, whom I was able to interview recently for He-Man.org. Go check that out. In the cover, we see Evil-Lyn holding her helmet, and she is surrounded by some green smoke around her, and there is seemingly pink flakes of skin peeling off of her to reveal the yellow skin underneath, which she has in the comics currently. Could this be a disguise of some sort? We shall see, but I'd include it here as note of interest. We also had some of these in the Dark Horse character guide, but I felt that it wasn't as comprehensive as it could be. And those were all the disguises that I was able to find that Evil-Lyn has had in the media up to this point. If I missed any, let me know in the comments. There might be something I overlooked. My name is Jukka, and I wish you good journey.